Never seen before, a lawsuit leveling charges against the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department. They're accused of sexual assault, falsifying evidence, victimizing an entire community, and ignoring a systematic abuse of power for decades.
It was filed on behalf of LAMONTE MCINTYRE, who spent 23 years in prison for a double murder he didn't commit.
Well, MCINTYRE is free now, and today, almost a year since his release, he named specific officers in that suit, including current police chief Terry ZEIGLER. Here's our investigative reporter, ANGIE RICONO.
This lawsuit is about what happened to LAMONTE MCINTYRE. He was wrongfully accused, and in the end, he spent half of his life in prison for a crime he did not commit. The lawsuit says this was no accident and no isolated incident of sloppy police work. This was business as usual.
I don't have faith in the process. I don't have faith in the process at all. I got faith in the truth.
And I want to make sure that we keep the community's trust and confidence in our department.
The women say you had to submit to Golubski sexually.
This was a forced act.
Man, this is crazy in the middle.
MCINTYRE's case became nationwide news because what happened to him was so terrible. He was just 17 years old when he was arrested. Turns out he was innocent. And MCINTYRE's legal team says the truth behind his case is that a predator cop roamed the streets of KCK. Former Detective Roger Golubski is accused of working with drug dealers, fixing cases, and giving women a terrible choice: sex or jail.
This is why that's evil. You don't hurt people like that. He tore me out. He tore my insides out.
LAMONTE MCINTYRE's mother is one of more than a dozen women who claim Detective Roger Golubski sexually abused them.
And I submitted only because I was afraid that Golubski would arrest or me.
She claims when she had the courage to say no to Golubski, she paid the price. Her son and 2 other family members all ended up in the same police lineup. It was revenge.
If it was 1 or 2 people, you always, as an investigator, me personally, I always take it with a grain of salt. I document what they've told me, but once I start getting more and more people saying the same thing, it starts being more credible.
MCINTYRE's legal team spent 10 years investigating what they say was a sick, corrupt culture in the KCK Police Department, and they say Golubski was the worst. Golubski's name appears more than 200 times in this 51-page suit, but there are more than a dozen others, all accused of knowingly participating in or turning a blind eye to Golubski's alleged corruption. Even the estates of dead officers are being sued. It claims the entire department knew Golubski was running the streets, and superiors even joked about it. Golubski never sought to conceal his misconduct from KCK PD officers and supervisors. Although Golubski's corruption was common knowledge at the KCK PD, he was never reprimanded and was instead promoted, becoming a captain before his retirement. The few KCK PD officers who were disgusted by his misconduct kept quiet to avoid retaliation. Golubski had powerful friends in the department, including the current chief, his former partner, Terry ZEIGLER.
Did you ever personally work with Golubski?
Yes.
Did you hear of any of these allegations?
There was nothing that I ever learned about him that I was like, ooh, that's not good, or that I need to report up the chain of command.
This is Chief ZEIGLER about a year ago when he agreed to sit down and talk with KCTV5's investigative unit about his former partner. We contacted ZEIGLER in the KCK Police Department tonight about the explosive allegations in the lawsuit. We were told they would respond tomorrow.
Should nobody have to go through something like that? And people whoever was responsible or had a hand in it, I think they should be brought to justice.
MCINTYRE has been outspoken since his release about the need for accountability. It's tough to see the progress. Allegations against Golubski have now been public for years. KCK batted the mess to the Kansas Bureau of Investigations, which has yet to bring any criminal charges or reveal what they have learned in their investigation. The point of this lawsuit is clear. MCINTYRE and his mother say the city and those officers should pay for what happened to them. But the lawsuit goes way beyond one family. It puts damning allegations against the entire department in a legal filing. It takes 51 pages to spell it all out. We have posted the full lawsuit on our website,
Angie RICONO, KCTV 5 News.